Hi everyone, and welcome to day 10 of our mindfulness meditation journey here together. So go ahead, make your way into your comfortable position. We've got 10 minutes today, but we've been building up to it, so at this point it should be just smooth sailing on the how to get yourself feeling comfortable. So what I wanted to speak a little bit about today was for those who are joining me on Instagram Live, you may or may not notice that, or I'm sorry, you may not be aware that this first started out, this journey of 31 days of mindfulness started out when I started to realize on the professional level that there's this disparity, that organizations are spending about $120 billion annually on wellness initiatives, and stats over the last week have risen from 40 to 90% of employees are planning on quitting their jobs. So how do you reconcile $120 billion of effort being put into place for a less than 60% return? And so we set out on this journey to show individuals that really mindfulness is an individual journey, because it can be interpreted in many different ways as there are humans. So what works for you today may not work for you tomorrow, and what works for you may not work for someone else. So we start very mindfully, very slowly. And we started day one just explaining what mindfulness is, day two what it's not, and then just practicing on finding our comfortable position where we can begin to, without putting too much stress or strain on ourselves, we begin to find that stillness, whether it's in an actual seated position, a reclined position, when you're out for a walk. You can find internal stillness in so many different ways. And so great. We've been on this journey, we've been moving ahead, we've been in our comfortable position. We're working on breath this week, and we'll get to that in a second. But the reason why I recap this is because yesterday, because I am doing this on multiple platforms, I have to go back and I have to review the videos and then put them in a format that can be consumed on different platforms. And what I noticed about yesterday was quite interesting, because when we don't always see ourselves from the outside, we just see ourselves through these two eyes, and that's how we see the world. And what I noticed about yesterday was, despite going to bed early on Thursday, eating healthy meals, and having what looked on paper like a not so crazy day, I showed up on Friday with a different level of energy than I did in the previous days. And each day, even though I'm coming to you through an electronic form, my way of showing up does come through to you, even though it's through a screen and not in person. So why am I bringing this up? Because it's not enough to just find or work towards stillness or to work on our breath. All of this is very important. But we also have to take into consideration the other part of this equation, how we show up, the energy we bring impacts other people. So yesterday you may be like, there was nothing wrong with your energy, Steph, it was fine. But to me, I felt like I was coming at a depressed level of energy, even just to meet you to talk through mindfulness. And so now I'm mindful. I'm aware that even though my logical thinking brain is telling me your day didn't seem that hard, You did get rest, you did eat well, you should have been fine on Friday. You should have got me into trouble because I wasn't really living in the present moment on Friday, where I realized maybe I needed a little bit of something else to bring a different, or to bring the level of energy I thought I wanted to bring to you all. So we sit, we observe the breath, we work with the breath, but then we can also begin to observe outside of ourselves. How are we showing up? Not that there's anything to change or alter or adjust. Actually, it's more of just being aware that all of this work still means that we can have days where we have to adjust how and what we're doing, because how and what we do affects other people. So, with that, we are in our comfortable seats. We've been here for a while, and hopefully we're all set up where we don't have any tingling in the feet or the legs. If you do, you can always change your position. And just notice now how you're arriving in day 10 with your breath. As we've talked about for the last couple of days, there's ways that the breath wants to travel, so you can notice if it's in your chest, your ribs, or your belly. And just take those first few welcoming breaths into the body to just check in with yourself and notice, even if everything feels logically like it should be okay, check in with the body and the breath. Is that what everything's telling you? Or maybe do we need to do something else? Do we need to make an adjustment? And while we counted yesterday as one technique to work with the breath, today we're going to rest one hand on our bellies, one hand on our heart. Does not have to be the anatomical locations of any organs underneath. Just some place where you can comfortably feel the weight and the warmth of your hands. And if it feels okay to you, what I'd like you to do is to divert your eyes from your device, because I'm not going to do anything that you need to see. You can let the eyes soften, or the gaze soften, or the eyes closed. And see if you can feel, as the breath moves in, if you can feel it moving through the body, but feeling it press against the front part of your body. So as you inhale, you may feel the hand on the chest rising up ever so slightly to meet the pressure and the weight of the hand, and then the ribs, and then ultimately that low belly. And then as you exhale, you may feel that low belly begin to come back towards the midline, towards the spine, the ribs come in, and the chest ultimately just coming back in, a little bit less weight against the hands. And then we do it again. As you inhale, just notice what you feel. Just checking in, not only with where we think logically we should be, but taking this opportunity to really be aware of where the body and the breath is in this present moment. You may even begin to feel like the breath is moving in a way, not only that you can feel it against the hands that are resting on the front part of the body, but you may also feel like your respiratory system is acting a little bit like an accordion. So as you inhale, you may feel the sides of your body lengthen up, so it feels like the hand on the heart and the hand resting on the belly are moving just ever so slightly in opposing directions, up and down. And then as you exhale and everything slowly begins to hug in, the hands start to feel as if they're coming a little bit closer together. So we're not doing anything, we're not manipulating anything. We're just taking our awareness and becoming curious about how we are actually in this moment. So you can continue on practicing or playing with that technique at various points at any point throughout the day. And with that, surprising as it is every day, our mindfulness meditation is done. Another great day, 10 minutes down. Tomorrow, we're working on 11 minutes on day 11 of our mindfulness meditation journey. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.